So in the spirit of recent hip-hop feuds, I thought it'd be fun to go back to 1996 and explore the time when Weird Al accidentally pissed off Coolio with his parody song Amish Paradise. It was a comical take on Coolio's hit single Gangsta's Paradise. And considering that Weird Al was involved, you would think that this was some sort of elaborate joke. But the grievance actually lasted nearly 10 years. But before we get into the history of all that, I just want to take a moment and ask you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It really does make a big difference. Thank you to those who already have. All right, let's not waste any more time and get into the strange but true story of the beef between Coolio and Weird Al. Okay, real quick, one thing you gotta understand about Weird Al is that he always asks permission from the artists and songwriters of the song he wants to parody. He does this as a sign of respect, but also so that he can share in the publishing royalties once his version is released. Basically, make money from album sales for those songs. Most of the time, he gets permission and everything works out, but once in a while, Al gets denied. Sometimes he performs these rejected songs live in concert, but he always respected the original artist's wishes and has never officially released the songs on an album. That is until Bad Hair Day. Okay, so it's March 1996, Al releases his 9th album, and the lead single is Amish Paradise. And there was also a music video that got some airplay in MTV. So now we're at the 1996 Grammy Awards. Someone asked Coolio, after he's won his own Grammy, if he's heard the Weird Al parody.
Have you heard Weird Al's Amish Paradise yet?
I ain't with that. No, I didn't give it any sanction. You know, I think that my song was too serious to, you know, it ain't like it was Beat It. Well, his record company asked for my permission, and I said no. But they did it anyway. I couldn't stop them, so, you know, more power to them. I hope they sell a lot of records. Just stay away from me.
Weird Al was quick to respond by saying he was shocked by Coolio's reaction and sent him an apology letter.
I was told by my record label that he had given permission for me to do Amish Paradise. And based on that information, I made the song and released it.
He added that about halfway into making the song, Coolio's management had a problem with something, but Weird Al was assured that things would get resolved, and so he finished the recording and it ended up on the album. You see, the thing is, over the years, Al has dealt with managers or agents that don't approve of a parody, even though the artists themselves actually like it, and so he thought that's what was going on with Coolio. In fact, about a month before Bad Hair Day was released, Coolio and Al presented the award for Best Alternative Band at the 1996 American Music Awards, and they seemed to get along, even if their interaction was a little strange.
Unfortunately, Pearl Jam isn't with us. Tonight is Eddie Vedder's macrame class. So, Coolio and I will be happy to accept the award on his behalf.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
But what I find kind of funny is that, like, nothing came from this interaction. Like, I really want to know what was going on inside of Coolio's head, because clearly Weird Al was making fun of his hairdo, and he just kind of rolls with it. But we now know that Coolio said no to Weird Al, and we also know it's very well known that Weird Al imitates the artists that he parodies, so you have to wonder if Coolio, like, just didn't put those two together, like he just thought they were completely unrelated, like, oh, there's Weird Al, he's funny. Like, I don't know. Regardless, getting back to the story, so, okay, we're back at the Grammys, Coolio says his beef, and then you would expect a follow-up, but then nothing happens. There's no legal action, and Coolio happily cashes his royalty checks from the album sales. So you think it's just water under the bridge. But then, in 1997, Coolio releases his 3rd album, and it features the song Throwdown 2000. And in it, we have not a diss track, but perhaps a diss lyric? It's weak, I know, but there you go. There is a diss lyric. Getting back to the story, in 1999, Weird Al releases his parody of the song American Pie, and Don McLean said that around the same time Al asked for permission, he turned down Coolio's request to sample the same song. This led Weird Al to say this might be another reason for Coolio to hate him. Also in '99, VH1 released their Behind the Music documentary on Al, and in it he says that after he sent his apology letter to Coolio...
I never heard back from him. I'm not sure if he still feels that strongly today, but really, I mean, there was, you know, I didn't mean any harm there, Coolio, really.
Also, the TV show really played up this incident since this was Weird Al's only real controversy in his life up to this point. But then things changed in August of 2000. Coolio was on the radio show Loveline and someone called in and asked him about the whole incident, and Coolio seemed to have a change of heart, saying,
"That's an old subject, you know, basically I don't even think about that anymore. I don't care, you know, much peace to Weird Al's family, you know, Weird Al just, you know, next time be a little bit more respectful of a brother, because it's all about respect for me. If I say no, okay, then no. Don't ask me. I mean, I would have felt better about it if he had just done it. And not ask me. But if you ask me and I say no, and you do it anyway, that's like slapping me in the face. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? That was my whole problem when it was a respect thing.
Now, I don't think Weird Al heard this radio program. I don't think he heard about Coolio's change of heart, because in January of 2006, nearly 10 years after everything started, the two artists had a very public amends when they were both at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. Weird Al recalls that at first he was a little nervous when he heard that Coolio was coming over to him because he wasn't sure if he was going to get a handshake or a punch in the eye. In the end, they hugged it out, some words were said, and everything seemed to be good. In fact, in 2009, Weird Al asked Coolio to be in his short film, but Coolio declined, citing they didn't offer him enough money to be in it, which I find kind of funny because somehow Weird Al got Paul McCartney to be in it, so apparently they either blew all their budget on Paul or Coolio just wanted way too much money. Over the years, Coolio's been asked about it, and as early as 2011, he publicly expressed regret over how he acted towards a parody, citing that his ego got in the way and how it was one of the dumbest things he ever did in his career. Coolio basically said that Michael Jackson never got mad at Weird Al, so why should he? Also, in a 2014 interview for Vice, Coolio said that he apologized to Weird Al years ago and eventually listened to the parody and found it very funny. And in 2016, he again set the record straight in an episode of Hot Ones.
In hindsight, it was stupid of me to say something about him, you know, doing a parody of Gates of Paradise. I mean, he did Michael Jackson, he did Prince, you know, people who were definitely more talented than I am. And it just made me look dumb. It made me look stupid. It was one of the dumb things I did. And I'm willing to admit, I did something stupid.
In the end, I can understand where Coolio was coming from. I mean, in his mind, he was asked permission, he said no, and then he saw Weird Al release the song anyway. And then, you know, in this amazing moment of winning a Grammy, some reporter asked you how you feel about it, so I can understand why he just let the truth come out. Obviously, there was a series of miscommunications, and Al has the utmost respect for the artists he parodies, so he would never purposefully do something like that. But, you know, Coolio didn't know this, but he also didn't reach out to Al privately. Instead, he just, you know, released his frustrations. Clearly, he regrets this, and yeah, he probably could have handled it better, but ultimately, no harm was done, and they both made amends. Sadly, in 2022, Coolio passed away, and Weird Al took to Twitter to post a photo of them hugging as a tribute. So that is a history of the beef between Coolio and Weird Al. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you'd like to see more fascinating music history videos, I have a couple here for you to check out, including that time when the Beach Boys recorded with Charles Manson, and the other time when the Beatles were almost canceled. All right, everybody, that'll do for today. I want to thank you all so much for watching, but I especially want to thank my members over on Patreon. I'm your Vinyl Geek, and I'll catch you on the flip side.